Hello, my name is Chris Frostad, and I'm the President and CEO of Purepoint Uranium Group, a uranium exploration company operating in northern Saskatchewan. There's been a significant change in market sentiment in recent months, and uranium equities have seen a solid rally. I hope that the information in this presentation provides a good overview of our company and our opportunities here in the Athabasca Basin. A large component of our value comes from the technical relationships we maintain and foster. As partners in two of the projects we operate for them, Cameco and Orano provide invaluable technical insight and support from their decades of exploration and discovery across the Athabasca Basin. Further, being adjacent to and on trend with the two largest discoveries of this century allows us incremental understanding of the region based on the hundreds of millions of dollars spent accumulating data and information on those massive resources. But let's start here. It's often pointed out that the pending correction in uranium prices will be preceded by movement in the equities. If that is the case, we're certainly seeing signs of it at the moment. The graphs here represent the relative change over the last 3 years in market caps of the uranium companies seen on the right. The last 5 months have certainly been the most striking. The market value of producers and developers has jumped dramatically by 88 and 75% respectively. Even more outstanding, however, is that explorers have performed at twice those rates, increasing by 165% since last November. The total market cap of all of these companies, seen here in green, has remained between $8 and $10 billion since the beginning of 2018. In the last year, however, it has more than doubled to over $16 billion. There's a lot of money moving into the sector in preparation for our next big rally. None of this is news, however, to anyone who's been following uranium for a while, tracking our move from the bottom of a price cycle and waiting for a tightening of supply to move uranium prices back up to profitable levels. With the closure of most of the world's major uranium mines, we expect that pending correction will be swift, and we expect it to be significant. As for us, we've been able to make good use of the last few years by focusing on the high-grade discoveries at our Hook Lake project, a joint venture with two of the world's largest uranium suppliers, Cameco and Orano. Looking to the future, we also hold a significant portfolio of 100% owned and highly advanced uranium projects ready to provide us with new discoveries. Let's look at that portfolio of projects in Canada's Athabasca Basin, home to the largest high-grade resources in the world. Purepoint currently holds numerous projects across the basin at various stages of advancement. Besides our Hook Lake project, we have 3 projects where considerable work and first-pass drilling has been completed. We're happy to report that uranium mineralization and favorable local indicators have been found at all of them. In addition, we have projects waiting for initial drill programs. These properties will be highlighted in future presentations. I'd like to take a minute to introduce our senior team. For those of you who don't know me, I founded the company along with my brother Scott almost 18 years ago. I spent the first 7 years of my career as a chartered accountant with Deloitte's, which was followed by over 15 years in the technology space, establishing and running companies during the early years of the personal computer and the internet. Since founding Purepoint, I've also served as CEO of a gold development company operating out of Mexico and have sat on a number of public company boards. Scott, on the other hand, spent the first 20 years of his career as an exploration geologist with some of the world's largest mining companies, including LAC Minerals, Teck, and Placer Dome. Just prior to establishing Purepoint, he was an environmental specialist for Kojima Resources in Saskatchewan, which went on, of course, to be Areva and now Orano Canada. We're also proud to work alongside one of this country's most highly regarded geophysicists, Mr. Roger Watson. Roger carries with him a lifetime of experience around the world and was a founding partner of the consulting firm Patterson, Grant & Watson. As pointed out, share prices and volumes increased substantially in the last quarter of 2020. We were able to take full advantage of that rally and complete a very successful financing, allowing us to begin the year with approximately $2.5 million in the bank. Now, I'd like to spend some time discussing our current priority project, Hook Lake, which is a joint venture we operate for our partners Cameco and Orano. It is rare that a major mining company entrusts the operation of an important project to a junior explorer, let alone two major mining companies. We're very proud of our special 12-year relationship with these companies and look forward to continuing that affiliation. The Hook Lake project lies on the western edge of northern Saskatchewan's Athabasca Basin, home to over 350 million pounds of uranium discovered here over the last 10 years. These discoveries all lie along a trend known as the Patterson Uranium District, which stretches through Fission Uranium's PLS project, NextGen's Rook I project, and the Hook Lake joint venture owned by ourselves, Cameco Corp, and Orano Canada. Starting from the south, we have Fission Uranium's R deposit, with an indicated resource of over 102 million pounds U3O8. Heading north along the trend is NextGen Arrow's deposit, with an indicated resource of over 256 million pounds. Right at our claim line is our Spitfire deposit, which was the focus of our drilling for several programs. Currently, we're concentrating on an area further north along the trend we refer to as the Sabre Zone. Before we take a look at the Sabre Zone, however, we want to show you the Patterson model. By analyzing drill results from all along the trend, we've been able to describe the ideal setting that has accompanied all significant uranium mineralization to date. In all cases, we see multiple parallel graphitic conductors, as well as mixed bands of both granitic and diorite gneiss. We also find host rock between the conductors that's been significantly altered by superheated mobilized fluids. And of course, structural complexity providing an appropriate home for deposition, such as cross-cutting faults or bends in the conductors. Please check out some of our other videos on the region. Our video uncovering the Patterson Uranium District provides the timeline of all discoveries in the area over the last 10 years. The Guide to the Next Big Discovery Part 1 details the evolution of the Patterson model and demonstrates how it reconciles all of the mineralization and discoveries along the trend. Part 2 goes on to apply the model and our work to date in preparing the Sabre Zone for this year's program. Now let's take a look at the work underway right now. The Sabre Zone is bounded by two recent drill holes which highlighted the attractiveness of the area. Hole 105 to the south and hole 115 that is located over 4 kilometers towards the north. Due to the substantial distance in between these two drill holes, we're utilizing fairly large step-outs to provide a larger scale understanding of the zone. Our first hole will be HK21A. This is a 400-meter step-out from the 2019 hole 105, which presented spotty radioactivity and a high degree of alteration in the rock. This year's initial hole will help us determine how the geologic setting seen in 105 changes as we move north. The second hole, HK21B, is an 800-meter step-out from 115. This hole will test the same conductor, shown to be a favorable graphitic shear in 115. The third hole, 21C, is a direct follow-up to hole 115. Hole 115 also presented spiky radioactivity and encouraging alteration, as well as anomalous dravite alteration in the sandstone, a significant indicator at the neighboring Arrow deposit. In this case, we'll be backing up the drill in order to hit the second parallel conductor on the same survey line. Based on current weather forecasts, we may be facing a shortened drill season this year. Weather permitting, the final two holes will be prioritized based on the results of the first 3 holes. These holes, HK21D1 and D2, are located here. Again, at 800-meter step-outs to test conductors located within the center of the targeted region. We anticipate demobilization to be complete in early April, with drill results to follow shortly thereafter. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to get caught up on Purepoint. We hope that you'll check out some of our other videos, and by all means, please get in touch with us if you have any questions or comments.